You meet someone new, 3 seconds pass, and your brain has already decided whether you like them. Not after the conversation, not after you learn their name. 3 seconds. You didn't choose this. You didn't even notice it happening. But somewhere behind your eyes, a verdict was reached before your rational mind ever showed up to the meeting. And the strange part isn't that you judge people fast. The strange part is how confident you feel about a judgment your brain never actually checked. Psychologist Nalini Ambati wanted to know exactly how fast this happens. In the 1990s, she and Robert Rosenthal showed people silent video clips of teachers, 2 seconds long, no sound, no context, just a face and a posture frozen in a sliver of time. Then she asked the viewers to rate those teachers. Were they warm, competent, likable? Here's what should unsettle you. Those 2 second ratings made by total strangers who had never sat in the classroom predicted the same teacher's end of semester evaluations from actual students. Students who had spent an entire term with them. 2 seconds, same conclusion as 16 weeks. Ambity called this thin slicing, your brain's ability to extract a surprisingly accurate pattern from a tiny sliver of behavior. And on the surface, that sounds almost impressive, like some ancient superpower buried in your skull. But here's the twist nobody tells you. Thin slicing isn't reading the truth about a person. It's pattern matching against everyone you've ever met before them. Think about that for a second. Your brain isn't scanning a stranger and understanding who they are. It's scanning a stranger and asking a faster, older question. Who does this person remind me of? A tilted head reminds you of someone kind. A firm handshake reminds you of someone competent. A slow blink reminds you of someone dishonest, even though blink speed has never once been shown to correlate with honesty. None of this is about them. All of it is about the library of faces already sitting inside your memory. This is where the halo effect comes in, a term coined by psychologist Edward Thorndike back in 1920, long before anyone had a word for cognitive bias at all. Thorndike noticed something odd while studying how army officers rated their soldiers. Officers who rated a soldier as physically impressive also rated that same soldier as more intelligent, more disciplined, more capable of leadership. As if one bright trait cast a glow, a halo, over every other trait, whether the evidence supported it or not. You do this too, right now. You just don't catch yourself doing it. Someone smiles warmly and your brain quietly upgrades their intelligence. Someone speaks with a deep, steady voice and your brain quietly upgrades their trustworthiness. None of it is evidence. All of it is a shortcut wearing the costume of intuition. And it goes deeper than personality. It goes all the way down to bone structure. Psychologist Alexander Todorov ran an experiment that should genuinely bother you. He showed people pairs of political candidates' faces, total strangers with zero information about their politics, their record, their platform. Just faces. And he asked one simple question. Which one looks more competent? The face people picked predicted the actual election winner in around 70% of real races. 70%. From bone structure, from nothing but the shape of a jaw and the width of a smile. Why would evolution build a brain this reckless? Why would it let something as serious as trust get decided by a glance? Because for most of human history, a glance was all you had time for. Imagine you're standing at the edge of your camp 40,000 years ago. A stranger appears at the tree line. You do not have time for a slow, careful, evidence-based analysis of his character. You have about 2 seconds before he's close enough to hurt you, so your brain built a fast filter instead of a fair one. Friendly face? Relax. Hard face, hostile posture, narrowed eyes, run or fight. That filter kept your ancestors alive. It has almost nothing useful to tell you about the barista who made eye contact for a little too long, or the coworker whose resting expression happens to look unfriendly. But your brain doesn't know the difference between a predator at the tree line and a stranger at a job interview. It runs the same ancient software either way. And once that first snap judgment forms, something even stranger happens. You stop looking for the truth. You start looking for confirmation. Psychologists call this the confirmation bias, and it works quietly underneath your awareness. Decide in the first 3 seconds that someone seems arrogant, and your brain will spend the rest of the conversation hunting for evidence to support that story, while it quietly, automatically discards anything that contradicts it. A confident laugh becomes proof of arrogance instead of proof of comfort. A direct answer becomes proof of coldness instead of proof of honesty. You are not observing the person in front of you. You're reading a story your brain wrote about them 3 seconds after you met. So what do you actually do with a brain this fast and this unreliable? You cannot switch off thin slicing. It fires before a conscious thought even has a chance to weigh in. But you can do something almost nobody does. You can notice the moment it happens. The next time you meet someone and feel an instant pull toward them or an instant pull away from them, pause. Ask yourself one honest question. What evidence do I actually have? Not the vibe, not the halo, the evidence. Most of the time, you'll find there isn't any yet. Just a shape, a voice, a face that reminded your ancient brain of somebody else entirely. You meet someone new, 3 seconds pass, and your brain has already handed you a verdict, one built less from who they are and far more from who you've already decided they look like.